Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back to my subscribers. This is where we talk about money, saving, and turning cash into wealth building assets. This is Bald Guy Money. I am Bald Guy. Let's talk money. So in this video, I am going to break down the reality of silver. And we really need to talk about silver. And I really want to show all you silver stackers how well you've done since 2011 and since 1997. And I will also tell you exactly what we can learn from the numbers that I am going to present to you. We are also going to benchmark silver versus gold, so buckle up and get ready to watch this to the very end. There is a lot of important information here, and you really need to hear it all to understand exactly what is happening with silver and what we can learn from that to understand what is probably going to happen to silver in the not so distant future. As always, none of this is financial advice. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. And don't forget to hit the like button. If you like the content, hit the like button below. I'd love to see 500 likes. And you can always count on me to respond to your comments. So if you leave me a comment below, I will respond to it in one way or another. So now to the core of this video. How has silver performed over the last couple decades? And what does it mean for silver stackers? If you remember from my last video, I showed a detailed chart of key gold price metrics in 2011 versus 2021. So for this video, I replicated exactly that analysis to show you how silver has performed from 2011 to 2021, or actually rather in 2011 versus 2021. So let's pull that up. As you can see, when comparing the metrics, gold, as I covered in my last video, outperforms 2011 in every single metric, whereas silver actually does not. In fact, according to the most important metric for those who are responsibly spreading out their purchases over time, which is the average price of silver, the average price of silver in 2021 is actually 26% lower than it was in 2011. So, what does that mean for people who stack silver? I suppose the first thing is that 2011 probably was not a good year to buy silver. But that doesn't mean that silver is all that bad. Just take a look at this. If you regularly bought 1 ounce of silver at the average price each year since 2011, your investment would have appreciated in value today by 10%. That said, when we compare it to gold, and now let's bring up that chart, we can see that gold is in much better shape despite its recent weakness at a 24% return on investment. But of course, if we really want to be fair, we do have to factor in inflation over the period that we've been purchasing. Therefore, just as in the last video, we will factor in an 18.5% inflation rate on average over that period since 2011. So let's take a look at how they performed then. As you can see here, just like I said in my last video, gold is a fantastic store of wealth. And despite some shaky performance over the last 10-11 years, you can see that gold has actually outperformed inflation, and what you would have is a profit, inflation adjusted, of about 1.3%. Again, confirming gold's status as a fantastic store of value. Now, let's apply that same principle to silver. What you'll see is, as it shows in the chart, in fact, inflation adjusted, you would have lost 10% on that investment. So now I guess many of you are thinking one of two things. Either, Bald Guy, you are stupid, silver is a great investment, or, oh no, I've made a big mistake. But this is where we actually start to turn the corner on silver. And although some people do actually think I am stupid, I don't think silver is a bad investment. I think it's performed poorly over the last 10 years and that it's undervalued. For those of you who saw my silver price prediction video, you will remember I demonstrated the following things in that video. Pull up those little data points. Okay, so number 1, silver is heavily manipulated, but increasing demand in industrial use is expected to impact Wall Street's influence on the market. Remember, Tesla, for example, is using silver in its solar panels. They cannot use paper silver to make their solar panels. They need actual physical silver. this will cause the price of silver to naturally go up over the next 5 years. Secondly, in that video, I demonstrated that the real price of silver is something around $30 per ounce versus what you see listed as the spot price today, which is $24.75, I think, as of today, as of making this video. And the third point is that silver will likely touch $60 by the end of 2026. And again, in that video, I demonstrated based on the increasing demand in silver and the relatively stable supply that by approximately 2023 or 2024, the demand will actually outstrip the supply. But enough about that. Although I do encourage you to go back and watch that video about silver that I made, I will say this: silver's time is coming. And although I don't see $100 silver per ounce being really possible in the near future, I do expect silver to start appreciating faster than gold and faster than inflation, because over the long terms, commodities usually beat inflation. Now, what I really think is happening with silver is that it's a symptom of our sick economy. One that is experiencing so much inflation that determining the fair price of something is actually becoming extremely difficult, and it's causing volatility in the price of many commodities. But there is hope. Just look at how silver has performed since 1997. Let's pull up the chart. There it is. As you can see, silver has outperformed even my inflation-adjusted numbers since 1997, with a real return on investment of about 11% since then. And please remember, my inflation numbers are approximately double, so twice as high as the official inflation numbers. And if you're really interested in how I calculated inflation since 1997, please go back to my video on inflation. It's called, I believe, The Truth About Inflation. You may be surprised. So now, coming back to silver, I have demonstrated in other videos exactly why I think the price of silver is manipulated and how it is being suppressed at present time with tricks like spoofing. Again, go back to those videos or even Google the term spoofing if you're not exactly familiar with what I'm talking about, because it's very important that you understand that if you are investing in silver or considering doing it. Now, I know many of you have not been stacking regularly since 1997. Heck, I was only 12 years old in 1997, but I'm sure that some of you watching this video right now have been stacking since 1997. And what do I say to you? Well, I say, congratulations, because there are many crucial learnings that you've probably taken that I am seeing in the data, and I'm going to share them with you right now. Those learnings are: number one, silver has underperformed gold and inflation since 2011, meaning a price correction is imminent. When we're talking about a commodity that has rather stable supply but increasing demand, nothing else is possible other than a price correction over the long term, meaning we can expect it to be fast and move up quite sharply. Secondly, silver has outperformed inflation since 1997, meaning it is actually a solid store of value. I always like to remind you all that this is not financial advice, but there is one very important point that I want you to remember from watching this video. It's that I personally don't allocate huge amounts of money to silver. Now, do I have silver? Yes. Do I hold physical silver? Only. I don't mess with the paper stuff. But about something around 3% of my money is in silver. And I keep it as a hedge for a dark day, just in case the economy really goes south and I need it to trade for things. Again, I'm not a doomsday guy, but I do understand that the possibility for some kind of financial collapse could mean that dealing in gold and silver is a possibility. But that said, I also understand buying silver, that if I bide my time, I won't really lose anything holding it over a long period of time, just as I demonstrated in the data showing the price of silver since 1997 and the actual return if you had bought, for example, 1 ounce of silver every year at the average price. And that's the full truth of exactly how I see silver. Thank you so much for watching. That's really it. All the links to my data sources are in the description. You know, Bald Guy doesn't mess around. I always like to link up the data below, so take a look. You can dive through it yourself. Leave me a comment below. Please ask me a question. Drop me a comment challenging my data, challenging my point of view. You can even drop me a comment making a request. I have done videos on request before, and you can be guaranteed that I will in some way respond to your comment, okay? As always, I wish you success. I wish you happiness. Hope to see you in the next video. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.